Hey, how you doing? Hope you're all good. I'm here with a different video today. I'm actually building a world in The Sims 2. They don't call it a world, they call it a custom neighborhood. But I've always wanted to do this, and this is my first ever neighborhood attempt. Let's see how well it does. I'm happy with where I've got to so far. It's not perfect, but it's okay for my first go, so thought I'd record the footage and come on facecam. I've not done a video in a little bit, and this is just me coming back and just doing something creative. This is what I enjoy. I enjoy making worlds in life simulation games. That's just like my little bit of therapy. So here I am. I'm just going to show you the whole process. As you can see, I'm using SimCity 4 to actually build the like world map, whatever you call it. Because in order to do that with The Sims 2, you have to use SimCity 4, so you'd have to purchase that game as well. If you've already got it, then that's a bonus, but I got it on a sale, which was like a $5. It's hardly anything, so I thought that's okay for me, and I just cracked on with it. And let me say that this is probably the most difficult and stressful part out of it all. I tried to do this for at least a month, on and off, just trying to attempt to actually use this software and be able to get it accurately the way that I wanted it to be, because when you're building this in SimCity 4, it is mirrored. I had to watch a few YouTube tutorials to figure out what the hell was going on with that, and they were saying that it would be mirrored, so when you actually do your layout in the SimCity 4 with the roads and with just the layout in general, when you put it into Sims 2, it's all mirrored. And I actually drew a whole plan, which I'll show you a picture of right now, but I drew a whole plan, so I had like an idea in my head, and when I saw it in The Sims 2, I was like, that's not how it's meant to look. So I had to watch a YouTube tutorial, and I'll link that in the description for anyone that needs to know how to do that. But basically, I had to use Sims 2 HUD Planner to be able to make it as accurate as I could, and even using Sims 2 HUD Planner, it's not as accurate as I wanted it to be, because it's very zoomed out in SimCity compared to in The Sims 2. It's very zoomed out. You'll notice a difference when you do convert it and you check it out in The Sims 2. You'll notice that everything is looking a lot different compared to what it looked like in SimCity. So I had to do this way too many times. It's not an easy process at all, so if you're ever going to attempt this, just be prepared that you're going to go through a lot of trial and error until you get it right. But here I am. I finally got the layout the way that I wanted it to be, and just had to mess around with the roads, mess around with the hills, making sure that everything looks the way that I wanted it to look, because I wanted it to have like a flattened area where the beach is, and then a little hill going up to where one of the mansions is going to be, and another mansion is going to be at the other side. You'll see it in the layout, the picture that I'll show you. So I might as well tell you how you install your world from SimCity 4 to Sims 2. You basically have to go to your documents, and then you go to SimCity 4, and there's a folder called regions, and then you find your world, your region, click on it, and it should have a file that just says your region name. Mine says applewood.sc4, and just copy that. Do not cut it, because you will probably need to edit some things if you do make a mistake, or if you're just a perfectionist like me. Keep that in there, and then go to your EA games, wherever your Sims 2 is located in your documents folder, and then you have to go to SC4 terrains and just paste that in there. And if it's got the title city before it, just get rid of that title and just have it saying, for example, applewood.sc4, and then boot up your Sims 2 and it will appear just like so. Here we are in The Sims 2. This is what the layout looks like, and I'm happy with the result. I had to mess around with this way too many times, but I'm happy with it, so I'm going to start placing my lots down now. So I've got an idea to do like a Big Brother build over here. I enjoy building these kind of wacky builds. I do it in all Sims games, so That is where the Big Brother build will be. And then the other big lot is going to be the first mansion. And then this area is going to be a park and a cinema. And then I'm just adding some more community lots, just a mini mall, and also I think this is a retail store, and then I'm adding a cafe next to it. Very small lots. I don't want to build massive lots because it takes forever. And then that one's going to be a gym, this one's going to be a cafe. So I recommend for anyone that's just starting out, build small, you don't have to go crazy. And then the other lot that I've just put down is a restaurant/beach. And then this one is going to be a photo studio if I ever want to make machinimas, because that is the whole idea. I don't know if I'll do that yet, because I don't know how it works in The Sims 2. It might be a bit hard work, but I definitely want to do a machinima. I want to try at least. I like doing these machinimas in these games, but just so I've added another mansion. I've added a little beach bungalow and also a cottage lot and also another lot for apartments. I definitely want to build apartments because they're meant to be the best in The Sims 2. From what I remember, it's been a long time since I've properly played this game. And then another beach house and then a very small little paradise. What's it called? Peaceful paradise. And now I'm just going to decorate my hood. So this is the most fun part. Like once you've got out of the way of SimCity 4, you know, planning your hood and actually doing the whole world and you're happy with it, then it gets to the really fun part. Like this is probably the most fun part that you'll have. I recommend putting some really good tunes on or put a playlist on, a podcast, whatever you're into, and literally just enjoy yourself and start building your own custom hood. Start decorating it. This is the most fun part, and I've added loads and loads of custom content from a lot of different CC creators. I can't remember the names at the top of my head. And I've also added a lot of Sims 4 conversions into The Sims 2 just because it blends in really well, and you'll see that when I actually show you the first builds. So you'll see all of the objects that I've added in there. I've just gone crazy with the custom content. I didn't want to limit myself. I will have to try link this when I actually do come to sharing this world. I will try and link everything and link all of the sites that I've, you know, used. I'll figure it out when we get to that part, but adding loads of rocks, adding loads of trees. This is my most fun part about doing these worlds. I love landscaping and I love adding rocks, trees, plants, all of that, making it look as pretty as I can, making it look the way that I want it to look. This is the most fun part, like I said, and you guys will probably enjoy it as well. So I'm just messing around, adding more rocks to fill in the gaps, because I've noticed these rocks, they float. I wish they didn't do that. I wish they sunk into the terrain. But anyway, I'm showing you the first builds out of this world, and this is the outdoor park and cinema. So I love doing outdoor cinemas. I did it in my Sims 3 world. I just think they look amazing. It looks nice in a Sims game. I'd love to go to one in real life. I don't know where they are located, probably America where it's nice and hot. And I'm just adding loads of trees all around. And this is the first glimpse that you'll get of all of the Sims 4 conversions that I've added. So these are from The Sims 4, I believe. Or they might be from somewhere else, but they look very much like a Sims 4 object to me. You can recognize the trees and the plants. They're from The Sims 4. All of the driveway, that's a custom road that I've got, so I had to mess around with that. When you get this custom road, you've got to basically add those decor pieces to make it match with the rest of the road. And then I'm just filling it up with rocks now that I've got the layout of what I want the cinema to be and the park to be, so I'm just adding rocks all around it. This is the vibe that I'm going for with this certain park. And I'm going to add a pathway as well, which you'll see later on. But this is just a part of the planning. This is all that you need to do if you ever attempt this, is just plan it. Like, just plan ahead, and just as you go through each build and decorating your hood, just plan everything. That's my biggest advice for anyone that wants to attempt anything like this. It's just a bit of fun. Why not? And then we're going to get to the part where I start adding the ocean color or decor, whatever it is. It's like a decor piece that you can have. I really love that. It makes it look like it's got a coral reef all around it. It makes it look quite tropical. I love that. And I love that you can also make the grass darker or lighter, and you can add sand and things with this kind of effect here. So I really love that you can do that with the terrain. You can make it look different and have a bit of variation. I like that. Now I'm just adding a lot of the pathway. I definitely wanted like a nice scenic walk. It's just a shame in The Sims 2, your Sims can't actually walk in any of this, you know, decor that you're doing. It's literally just for your own eyes. Like, that's all it is. And just for when you're on the lots, just to look around, like just to make sure it's not completely blank and you're not just staring at the sky or empty fields. Like you've actually got something to look at. It's just a shame that your Sims can't actually walk around the world that you're building. Like they can only walk around the lots that you're messing with. So if you guys are put off by that, all I'd say is just build more lots where you want your decor to be. Like if you're building a town area, then I recommend just building lots around it and in the surrounding areas and stuff, and then at least your sim can actually be there. They just won't be able to walk around everything completely. It's just The Sims 2. It's an old game, very limited. You know, it's not meant for that. That came in later games like Sims 3, and even The Sims 4 is quite limited with a non-open world. And then I'm just adding a load of plants and trees around the rocks because, like I said, they don't sink into the terrain. They're actually floating a little bit, and when you're actually in your lot and you're looking around, you can see it. So it's just better to cover it all up with trees and plants. So if any of you have this issue, that's all you need to do. Anything that's floating above the ground, just cover it with a load of trees and plants. But as you can see, the Sims 4 objects are here. Like, I'm using a lot of the stuff from certain packs. I got a lot of this from Lord Crumps, and they're a very popular Sims 4 converter for the Sims 2. And it's just really good. If you don't want to play the Sims 4 and you just like the way that the Sims 2 plays and you like the gameplay, get yourself the objects, like get yourself a load of the conversions, and you can still enjoy some of the nice stuff about Sims 4 in a better game, like the Sims 2. So, The Sims 2, I just think it has way better lighting, and obviously the gameplay. I'll be honest, I don't really play the game anymore. I don't have an interest for playing The Sims anymore. Like, it's just like real life. You get a job, and you have relationships and all of that. I just don't care about that kind of stuff. I'm totally not bothered about shit like that anymore. I've grown out of that. But I mainly use The Sims just to build and, you know, get creative and make machinimas and tell stories and things like that. That's what interests me now. So I don't really play the game, but I appreciate the lighting the most. Like, I love how the lighting looks more realistic and brighter. Like, compared to The Sims 4, it's all very blue tinted and dark, and the lighting just isn't my cup of tea. It's too realistic, and I don't like that. I like the Sims game to look a bit brighter, colourful. That's what I like. So I'm just messing around with the terrain here and there, just making different variations to make it look a bit more realistic. That's what I recommend you guys do as well, just so it isn't all just one grass type. Definitely add some variation, very easy to do. And then I'm adding these, don't know what they're called, just decor pieces. They came from one of the Sims 4 packs, and just adding trees, rocks, lights all around it. So now I'm putting in some cheats here and there. So I've been using a lot of cheats like move objects, and I also had to use a cheat where you could turn your objects to a 90-degree angle, because you can't do that. I don't think that you can, but I had to search it online because I couldn't figure out for the life in me how to do it, and you have to type in some kind of cheat, and then I was able to turn the object at a 90 degrees angle. So yeah, I don't know why it was that limited back then, but it was. Sims 2 was quite limiting when it came to build modes compared to, you know, the next games that came out. So I still enjoy it for what it is. At least you can still use cheats, so it's not the end of the world. You can always find a solution for these issues. But here I'm just making it look extra pretty, adding loads of rocks, plants, trees, all of that. You know the jizz. I think I ended up changing a lot of this area. I wanted it to be a bit bigger. I think I found an object that was like a gate, and I put it on one side, and then I realised I had to make it a lot bigger so that I could put the other gate at the other side. You'll see what I mean when we get to that part. But I like how it's turned out. I really do like how it's turned out, and I'm so glad that we can actually use a lot of these Sims 4 objects, because I will give the Sims 4 some credit. The build mode is spot on. Like, I love the build mode, and I love a lot of the objects that have come in these recent packs, but it just lets it down with a non-open world. That's my biggest critique, and the gameplay, obviously, and the bugs. It lets it down. So, and just with EA, they're greedy, microtransaction, with the packs that are coming out, there's that much DLC now. A lot of people don't mind, but it's getting to the point now where it costs like $1,000 or over $1,000 just to be able to enjoy the full experience, even though it's never going to be a full experience in that game, like I've mentioned in so many of my videos. But this is the gate that I'm talking about right here. Fancy gate. Had different colour flowers though. I couldn't find any red flowers, so I had to change all of the other ones to pink. So I've just made that look pretty and made it blend in more. I've added these rocks that have got the fountain coming down. That fountain doesn't work, it's literally just decor. Obviously, it's Sims 2, you can't really make the object properly function like it does in The Sims 4. And just making it all blend in more, just like I said, I had to extend that a little bit. And I really love this circular bush thing that's going on. I like how that looks. Just added a palm tree plant in there, whatever they're called, rocks underneath it, and messing around with the terrain a bit more. So I'll probably just bang on a bit more about The Sims 2 and why I enjoy it more than, like, let's say Sims 4. Wouldn't say I enjoy it more than The Sims 3. I like the lighting and the Sims more in The Sims 2 and the gameplay a little bit. Like I said, I don't really play the game, so I don't care about that stuff, but it just looks a bit better compared to The Sims 3. I just wish that it was more like The Sims 3, where it's all open worlds and you can walk around anywhere and it's not so outdated with a lot of the objects and things. You know, when you're looking at the outside view, you've basically got nothing to look at unless you start adding a load of custom content. Like I've done, I've had to add a whole 3D backdrop thing that a lot of CC creators have made. You'll see that later on. And I've also had to, you know, cover all of the beach up. In The Sims 3, I wouldn't have had to do that. I would have just had to, you know, smooth out the sand and it would have blended in really well. But in The Sims 2, you see a load of cracks with the sand and the grass. Like, it just doesn't look as realistic as I want. So I've had to cover all this area with rocks, but I already had that planned in my picture that I drew. I already planned on doing that anyway, because I knew that this would have been an issue. I'm just going around placing all of these rocks all around it, and it actually looks way better when you see it from bird's eye view, and when you're actually playing in the lots, it just looks a lot better. You're not seeing that sharp edge, those sharp edges all around your beach. Just looks a lot better, I think. So your Sims can't actually go to the beach either. You've got to build a lot on the beach or on the sand for your sim to be able to go there, and you've got to have a road that connects it, otherwise you can't do it. But now we're getting to the part where, like I said, place the backdrop, and I've placed it right at the edge of the map. That's what you have to do for it all to, you know, look the way that you want it to be, for it all to be centered. You have to place it right at the edge of the lot, and you will need a camera mod, which I will leave linked in the description as well for you guys. You will need a camera mod. Just follow the instructions on how to install that. I had a bit of a pain in the ass doing that, and you just have to read the instructions, and it's so simple once you do. So get the camera mod, then you can move around your neighborhood like I'm doing. You can zoom in and out, and it makes it a lot easier when you're actually building a custom HUD compared to using the Maxis camera, because you can't move anywhere. It's very blocked and limited. And then once you're done with your HUD, with your camera mod, you can take that out if you want to. You know, if you don't want to see all of the edges and go into a bird's eye view and you want it to be Maxis match again, you can get rid of the camera mod and you'll be okay. So I've just placed all of those decor pieces all around trees and all of that, and now I'm placing one of my packaged lots that I built a while back. Here is my first build that I've done, my first proper home build where I've moved some actual Sims into it, and this is what I was talking about with the Sims 4 to the Sims 2 CC. Most of this is from the Sims 4 converted, and it looks really good, I think. So this gives you a good chance as well to check out what everything looks like. If you made any errors, ignore all of the ocean glitching through. That only happens in tab view, so it's not a problem. And just showing you a bit of gameplay. I just want to say thank you to everyone that has watched. This is going to be a full-on series, by the way, and I'm not actually monetized on YouTube, so if this video does really well, I'm not able to make any money from it. I don't know if it will or not. I don't know. It's a gamble with YouTube, but all I can ask is if you guys really enjoy this series and you really enjoy my videos and you want to help me out, I do have a Patreon. I will leave that linked in the description. You'll be able to find it. If you want to help me out, you don't have to. I'm just saying if you do, because I'm not able to be monetized because I haven't updated my passport. They stopped my monetization until I get it all updated, and you have to wait ages for that to happen. So just be a shame if this video does really well and I get no kind of income from it. But with these kind of gaming videos, it is literally just a hobby. I never planned on doing this for money. It's just a shame when you put so much effort into a video and you can't get monetized from it because of YouTube because of their strict policy on being able to have ads on your video. Finally got monetized and they said, nope, you need to update your passport. We need to have so much of your information before you can actually get your money. So anyway, you can see here, just finishing off a lot of the decor pieces for this first part. And the next part, we're just going to be continuing. I'm probably going to build a mansion in the next part and maybe a community lot, and just go through the rest of the neighborhood with each episode. And I hope that you will enjoy this series, and I hope it gives you a bit of inspo if you want to ever make a world in The Sims 2. This is pretty much how you do it. It's quite straightforward, and like I said, the decorating part is the most fun part. Like, I can't wait to jump back in and start decorating again. This is where you have the most fun, I personally think. Creating your Sims as well, if you enjoy all of that, that'll be good for you. But anyway, I'm going to let you enjoy the screenshots now. I'm going to just play some music, and just want to say, please subscribe, please comment, please like if you are enjoying this series, because it'll help me out and it'll let me know that you want more. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, bye-bye.